Hello, I'm James Reynolds. According to a recent national family caregiving study, 17% of caregivers of adults provide care for veterans, and with a significant number having provided care for 10 years or more. These caregivers are tending to veterans in a home setting across the age spectrum, from combat eras dating from World War II to the more recent wars in Iraq and Afghanistan. While these caregivers face similar situations as national caregivers, including chronic illness or aging issues, they also have unique challenges, such as dealing with physical disabilities, PTSD, and other emotional and mental health issues. In response to this, the Department of Veterans Affairs Voluntary Service and the Office of Care Coordination have joined together to form the Caregiver Support Network. Our mission is to ensure that veterans receive the right care in the right place at the right time, and to make the home, whenever possible, into the preferred place of care. To this end, it is our goal to offer support to caregivers who are our partners in the care delivery process. Volunteer support caregivers play an important role in assisting veterans, their primary caregivers, and their families with the daily challenges of living with a chronic disease, illness, disability, or condition of aging. As a volunteer support caregiver, you can be a vital part of a network of family, friends, social service, and health professionals who provide comfort and assistance to homebound veterans. You can be an active participant in a rich and rewarding volunteer experience that will be as meaningful to you as it is to the veteran and their caregiver. Recently, we visited the Southern Arizona VA healthcare system to see firsthand how this program is working.
Our whole goal of this program is to keep the veteran in their home as long as possible, and the volunteers are able to do this by providing support for their caregivers. Our volunteers come from many different cultures, backgrounds, and life experiences. We have veterans who volunteer. We have people who are caregivers themselves. We also have university students. The ages range from 18 to 95.
Having a good day today?
Pretty well.
Good.
It's been busy.
It's a win-win for everybody involved in this program.
Now let's meet three families whose lives have been changed by the simple act of a volunteer support caregiver coming into their homes. What would move a vivacious, busy young college student to spend an afternoon every week with an ailing World War II veteran? This story of Carissa Trimpe and the Hammond family will inspire you.
My motivation for becoming involved came from my fiance. He served in 2 tours in Operation Iraqi Freedom. After he came back, he had a post-traumatic stress disorder and a traumatic brain injury, so I helped him through the therapy. I wanted to help more servicemen and women and offer companionship to them and just someone they could talk to, and so I decided this program would be perfect for me. I visit with John. He is a Navy veteran. He served in World War II, and he was involved with the liberation of the Philippines. He calls me Charisma most of the time because he says I have a lot of charisma.
I couldn't think of your real name. All that came to my mind was Charisma. Oh, you have charisma.
We just fell in love with her right away. She was so sweet and so outgoing. We just really, really grabbed onto her.
Sometimes we'll just sit there and talk and have a few laughs, and he'll tell me jokes, and then other times we'll go out.
Looks good. Styling.
Walk around the park. He loves to be outdoors like I do.
First, she gives him a hug. That's important too. And they go over to the kitchen table, and she gets the games out, and they start playing games for a while, and he just enjoys it to no end.
Charisma, do you have a check?
No, go fish.
The hour that she was here went so fast.
I just was blessed by having somebody nice to talk to. That's all I really care is that she's friendly. I don't care what color her hair is or anything else, as long as she's friendly.
Are you sure you don't prefer blondes?
I do all the cooking and make sure he gets a well-balanced diet and make sure he gets his medicine and help get him ready in the mornings. I don't feel good about leaving him alone. I have a lot of arthritis and osteoporosis, and I don't have a whole lot of energy. So it's really helpful to me to have somebody that's young and energetic and doesn't tire out so much as I do.
She's dealing with her arthritis, then she has to take care of him. It's really nice for her just to have a break and be able to go do something for herself.
I just felt like I had a new friend coming out to see me as well as taking care of my husband for me.
She always tells me how much she appreciates everything I do, and she comes back and you can just tell it's like something's been lifted off her shoulders.
She's been real helpful. She's just like one of the family. I think her boyfriend is real fortunate.
Every time I go over there, I feel rejuvenated almost. I feel like I really made a difference in their lives.
So can you keep me in your prayers?
Absolutely.
Okay.
You'll keep me in your prayers.
I will.
Okay.
Our next story profiles a loving couple of 41 years and the gift of a volunteer support caregiver.
I went to the Navy School of Music, Washington, D.C. 28th band, graduated from the music school, went out to sea. USS Concord, spent 6 years aboard her. I went in the Navy in 1940, I think, and served in the South Pacific, stationed in Panama City, at the Panama Canal.
I came to Tucson in 1966 with the Tucson Symphony Orchestra. I met Bucky in the symphony. He was the head of the percussion section, and I was assistant to the conductor. It was a great relationship. We were married 41 years ago. Bucky has been a member of the Rodeo Parade Committee since 1970, and he has been so incredibly active in that, and churches and the shrine, everything he's done, he's been very active.
I was used to an active life, and I don't have that anymore.
I worked for hospice in Wisconsin for a couple of years, and I was just amazed at the impact that respite volunteers had on people's lives, and I felt I wanted to be a part of that.
He and Becky headed off right away. For the 3 hours that Richard is here, they just talk up a storm, and then sometimes Richard helps him walk, he helps him get to the bathroom.
When I come to visit him, he generally perks up, and our conversation allows him to relive some very important memories in his life.
So he went to Alaska.
Yeah, well, that makes more sense.
Yeah.
That was pretty wild territory back then, though.
Yes, it was.
We laugh, we joke. He has a sarcastic sense of humor similar to mine.
I'm, double his age, and I have a lot of advice for a man like Richard. But that's no sign he pays any attention to it.
I thought he was a very dignified, intelligent, artistic person. And he's interesting to listen to. And he's fun to talk to. And best of all, he laughs at my jokes.
Oh, I think he's a pretty nice guy. And then it worked out that he was a damn nice guy.
I can't do enough. I mean, I would give anything or do anything I could to help him. He is my dearest friend. I amuse him and take care of him, do his medicines. Most of the time we're here alone unless we have someone come in, and I can't leave the house unless someone is with him. I won't leave him alone.
She needs to be with Bucky 24/7. And it's important. She's very, very worried that he could take a spill. So when I'm there and engaged with him, she's able to take care of things that she's put off for a while. And she seems more relaxed, more effervescent after being able to do that for a few hours.
She gets a respite when he's there.
It's just a deep satisfaction of being able to help someone, to enable them to be a little more relaxed, to take life a little bit easier, with a little more joy, a little less tedium. And it makes a difference in that respect.
Thank heavens for Richard. Yes, I'm very, very happy we have him, yes. I'm so happy he spent his time here.
I have nothing but praise for him.
Shortly after finishing his 4th academic degree, Leonard Pena suffered a massive stroke, which left him and his family devastated.
He had the equivalent of 3 degrees. He had one for dental technician. He had one for teaching English. He finished a chiropractic one, but then he decided to go back for nursing. He had a stroke a couple days after his checkup at the doctor.
It is very hard when the thing happened and he's nothing. I saw him right here. Oh, I don't know what to do. So that's what happened. So I called 911.
In the beginning, we had to take care of everything, like help him bathe, help him move around the house. We had to help him clothe himself. Also, we had to feed him.
He can't do anything. It's not like other people that he can do something. Him, no. I do love him. Yeah.
Maria is precious. Maria is a hard-working woman. I have so much respect for her and admiration for her. It's a pleasure to let her take a break.
I'm so glad that the VA come and help me, that I really need help.
It's nice to have a break every once in a while, especially for my mother, since she runs around everywhere. So when she does that, I have to watch over him. But ever since the volunteers came here, it's been a huge help.
Due to his stroke, he doesn't speak, but he communicates nonetheless.
What do you think about that one? Does that need a little, you want to do a little bit there?
He was an artist. We work on projects together. The time seems to fly by when we're together. My parents are gone, my daughter's raised, and I have a rich extended family through this program.
He demonstrates a huge difference personality-wise because he seems to enjoy things a lot more ever since the volunteer has been coming over. He's a little bit more lighthearted.
The respite team is a wonderful place to be. Oh, I think it's working. Yeah.
Before, I'm really so depressed. And then when the help come, thank you, my God.
As we've just seen from these very moving stories, the Volunteer Support Caregiver provides a much-needed respite for the primary caregiver so they can renew their energy and spirit. You too can make a difference in the lives of caregivers and veterans alike by providing personal support and compassionate care. The VA voluntary service staff at your local VA facility can provide you with a volunteer handbook, orientation, training program, and resource guide, all the tools you'll need to prepare you to succeed in your assignment as a volunteer support caregiver. So what are you waiting for? Get started on this rewarding journey today and make a difference in the life of a veteran and their family.
This program has definitely enriched me as a person. It's made me a stronger person.
It's a quiet joy. I mean, it's not a big thrill like race car driving or jumping out of a plane, but to be honest with you, it's a more lasting one.
This that I do seems like a little thing. Oops, that touches me compared to what they've done for me and us as a country, so it truly is a little thing.
High five.